Alright people, how's it going? This is Bharat here. Welcome back to yet another video. This video is a very quick demo on what exactly is file systems with respect to Deno. So what exactly do you see with respect to the Deno servers? Do you have any kind of a easier file system access? And also look at how different the Deno is from Node in terms of accessing files. We do have very easier interfaces with both Node and Deno to access files, but with Deno there is a little bit of extra security added, and also it is very much easier and is also complying with the latest ES6 standard. So we're going to be looking at all about that in this video. Let's get the video started straight away. Alright, so we are going to pick up from where we left off in the previous video, and I'm not going to be taking so much of time here. Rather, I'm just going to be showing you guys what exactly and how exactly you can create your own file system utils in just under 5-10 lines. So what you're going to do is to start with creating a very simple file. And with Deno, as you all know, you can run individual files, like you can just do how you would run an independent file in Python and other programming languages. So similarly, you can still run an independent file in Deno. I'm just going to be taking that portion alone and showing you guys how to do that. But again, we are making use of the existing server and the routes that we did create, so you can just integrate it as much as you want to. For example, so what we did in the previous video was to create a very simple route, hosted it in a server, made it listen to 8001 port, and you can just up the server and it would actually access APIs much faster. Rather, I'm going to be creating a very simple file operation file and showing you guys what are the operations that you can do with a simple file. So let me create a simple file called as file op ts, whatever you want to call it, and we're going to be making use of this this standard library called as fs. So what they're going to do is I've already copy pasted it so that it's easy for me to show you guys what happens. So as you can see, this is the file system standard library that the Deno itself has, and we're going to be making use of this for this entire video. So what we can do is that this is going to be the URL that you're going to make use of, and for what you have to do is obviously import a lot of different libraries or classes that are available with respect to this specific TS file. So the first thing that we're going to see is the exist the library. There's also one more thing called exist sync. I'll be telling you guys what are the differences between these two. The very simple differences at the heart between these two is that as you know, the Deno is going to be returning something called as a promise or a wait in the future. So you can either do like a wait on that, and that's what we did discuss about in the previous video. So with respect to that's actually also the current standard of how JavaScript is moving towards. They are moving towards the idea of async and await in asynchronous programming languages. So that's what the exist sync does. Whereas the exist just returns a promise in the future where you can either wait for that and do a then operation on that, or you can directly do get this exist and wait for something and do something else in the future. So I'm going to be discussing how it works in a minute 10 here. So what you can do is now just create console.log, and what we have to do is just create exist, and we can just check if the file exists. Let me check if the controller.ts file exists. Though this is going to be the path, and I'm just saying that in this path is it existing. So what we can do now is just run, and you will see for yourself what are the different things it asks us to do. The first thing that I'm going to do is just done Deno run file op ts. As soon as I run, it checks and it says that a lot of things inside it are unstable, meaning the Deno.u time is unstable. So make sure that you run it with an unstable flag. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to do unstable. And as soon as you do that, it says that you have to give an allow read flag. So that's the first difference between Deno and Node. You cannot write or do any kind of file system access without the appropriate flags being set. So the first thing again you're going to do is now give an unstable flag, and at the same time also say allow read. Now it says that promise and pending. This is not very useful for us. This would be useful if we are in an asynchronous system where we are having multiple threads doing multiple stuff, and that way this would be a good promise in the future where you would I next do is say exist of dot controller, and you'll call a then operation on that, and then you just go along with that. So that's going to be use of this exist itself. Now what I'm going to do is just wrap this with an exist sync and just a similar flags again, both allow read and unstable, and as soon as I do this, you can see it returns the true file for me. So that's pretty much the use of exist sync and exist. Similarly, there are multiple operations that you can do. The next thing that we're going to see is the move operation. Move is very similar, but there's another tag that's going to be used. So let's do the same thing again. Just import both move and move sync. Now we have checked if the controller.log exists. Let's also create a simple maybe test.txt file and pretty much use it for our entire thing. So I'm going to checking is move. I'm going to check if move exists, move works or not. So what I can do is console.log again, and instead of using move, I'm going to be using move sync because it's pretty much easier. It already does an await and then returns me it's either none or it moves the file. So that's going to be the thing. So let's check it here. What I'm going to do is just do a /test.txt, and I'm going to move it to a file that I want to create and then move it. Like I don't know if the file exists or not. If it doesn't exist, I want it to create and just move it there. So I'm going to be calling test new.txt. Let's see what it exactly does. Alright, so I'm going to run it now, and it's going to throw an error saying I need to have an allow write flag. So if a move operation is as similar to what you call as a copy and cut copy paste, similar to that. So that's what it tries to do. Now it says undefined because a move does not return a boolean. Move sync does not return a boolean operation. If it moves, it's done. That's it. There is no like a boolean operation returned. If it doesn't move, the file does not exist. Let's say for example, I'm trying to do this again. Since there is now you can see the test news moved, and when I'm trying to do this again, it will just throw an error saying that no such file or directory exists. So that's pretty much how you can use your move sync. Alright, next up we're going to do is do the write operation. In Deno, we're going to make use of a library called as write JSON, which is going to be the main standard one for writing into a file. So all you can do is just write it into a JSON or just write into JSON format, and either you can just do a stringify on that or JSON.decode. So that kind of stuff you can do easily. So what I'm going to be doing is now making use of the write JSON or the write JSON sync. So let's see how it works. Let's do a console.log. Let's do console.log write JSON sync. I'm going to be writing into the test new txt. Now if for this entire operation to run, I need this to be renamed back into test. Okay, that's it. Okay, let's go here. For now, it should have been created into test new txt, so I'm going to be making use of that. Test new.txt, and I'm just going to directly say write like this name codermonk. Let's see if this works. First of all, okay, time to run our application, both allow read and allow write, and we've gotten undefined. Write also doesn't return any boolean operation. Go here, you've obviously gotten the name again inside. Awesome. So let's go ahead and skip and do the final operation, which is the read operation. I keep putting this wrongly. Read operation, time for doing that. We are going to be making use of read JSON sync. Alright, let's do the jump into writing. We're going to be reading JSON sync. I'm just going to give it the test new.txt. Right, let's rename this, remove everything from here, save it, not delete, rename this to test. Let's run our application. Awesome, right? We've gotten read it from there, and pretty much how exactly this thing works. Very simple. And also the one more additional benefit of it is that we're going to be controlling the flags. Should you allow it to read? Should you allow it to write? So the developer is going to be allowing multiple permissions, which is going to make the entire server itself very secure. I did try it. I played with it for a very long time and was very impressed with it. So that's it pretty much for this video. We did look into the file operating systems, the file system standard library. Very simple to use, and you can definitely check it out. That's it for this video. Hope you liked it. If you liked it, you know what to do. Smash that like and subscribe button. Let me meet in the next video. Awesome stuff is coming up. Until then, Bharat, peace out. Have a super awesome day.